wanted to share a brief thought on the accessibility of God, because I've run into people from time to time throughout my life who make it clear in different ways that they believe they're distant from God, and the way that distance is going to be breached or traveled or mitigated. What's another word I could use? Trying to think of I need a thesaurus right now. But reconciled, if you want to put it that way. If you look at it as a broken thing, the distance is a break. That certain things need to be done, and the most common one is to get into a decorated facility, otherwise known as a church. And I just wanted to offer for your consideration that is not true. It's not true at all. I know people that don't even really believe in God. I think that's the way to do it. If you want to have some sort of spiritual life, you got to do it that way. And I used to poo-poo the idea of having a connection with God without going to his building, his house, because I thought, well, that's just a cop-out. People want to think they're spiritual, but they don't do the spiritual thing. I've since found out that's not true. And part of the evidence I want you to consider for my argument is that if you really believe that God is that God, that creator, that all-knowing one, he wants to be understood. I mean, he wants to be understood. His point of view, he wants to be known by you. I mean, that makes total sense. I can't totally explain that, but if you really think about it, what a God would be as a creator, it only makes sense that he's personal, and it only makes sense, part of his personal nature is that you, as a created being, is someone he desires to have understanding concerning him. He really wants that. And just think about it. If everyone in the world knew and understood exactly the things that you thought and believed, you might find that slightly pleasing. Not everyone thinks about that, but there's a lot of people that would really like their thoughts to be known, at least by the people around them, if not the whole world. And God all the more so. I think he would really like for you to understand where he's coming from. The things that matter to him, the things that are important to him. I really think it just makes sense, even from a generic sense. If you don't buy the Christian God or whoever, just the concept of there being a creator, it only makes sense that he's not playing jokes. He's not playing riddles and mysteries and all that. He really wants to be understood. And I understand when he came here, my God, he talked in these parabolic ways. But you gotta have the context. They've been ignoring him already. So if there was any blinding, if there was any deafening happening, it was by the people he was speaking to. They didn't want to hear him. They wanted to hear something else. So that goes to the point. There's two parties here. There's one who really, really, really wants to be understood. And I don't think he has any communication issues. He's quite capable of communicating. So then the major component here that's in question is you. It's me. It's us. Do we want to hear from him? Do we want to know what he has to say and what he thinks, his opinion on this or that and the other? Maybe not as much as he wants to be known, but at least as much as we can. Can we muster something where, God, I really want to know what you think? Because I think that's the only missing thing. Because I believe the Bible. I believe the Bible is true. He says, when you search for me with all your heart, you will find me. That's what it says. And I've found this from experience to be true. He does want me to know. And when I want to know, when I want to understand, I do find out. I really do. I find out the truth of things. I find out what's important to him, what means things. So, I'm trying to remember now the original question. I went all over the place. Anyway, if you can put it together. Maybe I'll edit this all up so it makes sense. Put the front and the back and the back and the front and the middle and the sideways or something. But just consider that you don't have to go to some special place and do some special sacrament that's been made up by men. And the way he did it, when he came, he established a new covenant. When he poured out his Spirit over all flesh, he even took away the necessity of that tabernacle, of the whole operation of it. And that's why it was destroyed. God allowed it. He didn't destroy it, but he allowed it to be destroyed. There is no more temple. You are the temple through faith, because it's through faith in him that he comes to dwell in you. When you believe in who he is and what he's done, that's what establishes that communication, that relationship that is so personal that the person that you desire to understand actually comes and abides within your very being. That's the wonderful thing about it. So now you have perfect access to him because he lives with you. He lives within you. And he teaches you things. And he opens your eyes and you see these things. And again, like I say, if you're believing the other way, if you're believing the religious way, if you're saying, no, man, I drink and swear and cuss and smoke and I don't even go to a building, and I at least got to do that for a few weeks. I don't know what to tell you. Because you're never going to get to him that way. This is not how it works. He is a person. He is an individual. If I want to get to know you, I don't go and talk to some secretary so that I can get to you, or your representative or your public relations man. I go to you. And again, all the more so with God. The different attributes we have, they are even more true about him because we get those attributes from him. So he has them in their purest form. So the friendship he offers is as personal as anything you can imagine. It doesn't happen in an instant, but it can begin in an instant, because you're not ready for certain things. I'm not ready for certain things. We're all maturing and growing as individuals, and that's how he treats you. He treats you as an individual. So he doesn't just say, here's this special place, everyone go into the special place and do the cookie cutter things, and then we'll all arrive at the same maturity. No. It's for you and him, one-on-one. So try it. Consider it at least. Think about it. Pray on it. Talk to him about it. I think you'll find out the same thing my wife and I did, because God is not multi-personality or schizophrenic. He's capable of doing more than one thing at once. And that includes talking to you and me and millions of other people all at the same time. He's an incredible God. He's still personal. He doesn't send out angels and sex secretaries and other mediators. It's him and him alone. Like I say, it's for your consideration, because it'd be a shame to miss the opportunity to know him just because you bought into some man-made concept. But if you don't want him, I mean, that's fine too. I understand that. I didn't want him most of my life. But once I met him, it's like my driving passion in life is to get to know him a little bit more and find out who he is. And that's my thought for today. In Jesus' name, amen.